My name is Brian Pillman Jr., and you're watching the Rasslin Rage YouTube show. Oh!
It's going down!
This is Rasslin Rage.
It's going down!
This is Rasslin Rage.
Scream it out loud!
This is Rasslin Rage. Corky Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
It's going down!
This is Rasslin Rage.
We'll do it now!
This is Rasslin
Scream
Rage.
it out loud!
This is Rasslin Rage. Corky Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
And now it's time for Rasslin Rage with your host, Cody Fleming.
Yo, hopefully the audio is working. We had a little bit of audio problems last night, but thank you so much for joining us. My name is Cody Fleming. I am joined by Corky. I'm going to talk to him and ask him some questions. This is his first time ever on Rasslin Rage, by the way, so congratulations. Yay. So before I ask him questions, make sure that you smash the thumbs up if you haven't already. Please also smash the subscribe button. All right, that way you can, be subscribed, and we're really close to 1,000 subscribers. I just looked; it was 941. All right, so I need 1,000. Let's go 1,000. All right, that's what I need. R2YouTube.com, letter R, number 2, YouTube.com. Hook it up. Come on over here, check it out. Don't forget, you can also listen on Podbean, not live, of course, but in a couple days it'll be up there. If you don't know where our Podbean is, scroll down in the description. You can find it down there. Also, in the description, you will find links to all of Rasslin Rage and Michigan Independent Weekly's Facebook, Twitters, all that good stuff. All of it's down there, as well as the Rasslin Rage Pro Wrestling Tee store, where you can get a Rasslin Rage T-shirt. Yay. So, Mr. Corky, welcome to the show, sir.
What's going on, man?
Oh,
Thank you.
very good. Corky. Ryan Bradford says, Corky. So hello to Dan Beals. Everybody that's been on the show, they tell their story, right? So I want to start in a spot. So this is where I would like to start. I want you to picture this in your head right now. You ready? All right. So
Yeah.
we're going to tell a story. So young Corky, a wee young Corky. I don't know how young, but the first time, let's go back to the first time that you experienced pro wrestling. At what age was it? And were you captivated? And tell us the story about that.
So for me, it was weird because I was never a wrestling fan.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't get into wrestling into maybe 8th or 9th grade. And that was because I rode the school bus. Now, a lot of people know is that I was special ed all my life. And the name Corky is to honor special ed. And this kid was picked on. He had Down syndrome on the school. And so he invited me one day over to come watch Monday Nitro with him. And everyone picked on him. So I was like, yeah, man, I'll watch, because I didn't have any friends. So I went over, and I just remember watching the Giant and Kevin Nash. And I was not even hooked on them. I was hooked on the refs, like how they were just they were super entertaining to me. And I was just like, I want to become a referee. Like, I think about 5 years later, I'm in school. They're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, I want to be a professional referee. And then I went from there. Just like I watched WCW most of the time, but I just didn't watch wrestling. I was referees.
Okay.
And then finally, I think it was after high school, I started taking action move for it.
Okay. So was it from the very moment that you started watching, like when you went to that kid's house and watched Raw, that you knew you wanted to be a referee, or was it something that progressed over time?
I thought it was really entertaining the first time, but then like I think over time I just realized that there wasn't really in my opinion, a lot of great referees. So
Okay.
then, like, I just had in my mind, I was like, I want to be one of the greats,
Okay.
and I made that as my goal. And um, since that day, I was like, my dream is to become a professional referee.
Okay. So you didn't set out to, because a lot of guys that eventually become referees, or they were professional wrestlers first. They wrestled. I know that you have to be trained in professional wrestling to be a referee. However, not a lot of guys, once they finish their training, go, oh, I want to be a referee. They're a professional wrestler for a length of time, and then eventually they get into refereeing sometimes. But you're not. You're a little bit different. You wanted to be a referee, and have you always been a referee, or have you actually wrestled in matches prior to being a referee?
I've strictly been a referee.
Okay.
There's like some weird like referee matches where they put referees in a battle royal.
Okay.
I've done that stuff, but I'm strictly a referee. I have never had any intentions of stepping outside of that comfort box as a wrestler. Wrestling has never really interest me,
Okay.
especially with my health.
Okay. All right. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. But when you get out of high school, and you said that's when you started to seek out training to become a referee, right?
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, a lot of people, like, there was a time, here I go to a lot of indie wrestling shows here in the state. And there was a time that I didn't even know that there was indie wrestling here in the state. So we're talking, what, 14, 15, 16 years ago, roughly, when you were seeking out training?
Yeah. What it was is that I was in the backyard wrestling
Okay.
and I was refereeing for that. So then, it was just more like the popular people didn't want, the non-popular people in that group no more. So I was just basically, I wanted to venture out and I wanted to pursue it. So we went to MySpace. This is how old this is. On MySpace, and looked up wrestling schools on MySpace.
Okay.
And House of Truth was the first thing that came out. I couldn't afford the House of Truth. So the next thing I heard and saw on Facebook was the Justice League school there in Flint.
Okay.
And I went there. I did some bumps. I did some stuff there, and then we just had a disagreement, and I decided not to continue there. And then I finished with Levi Blue.
Okay. Good old Levi. He was just recently on the show, and he was scheduled to take on Stitches, but apparently they got a PPO on Levi now. Well, I you know what? Hey, listen, you were trained by Levi. He's a pretty scary guy if you piss him off, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel bad for Stitches.
Good. Yeah, he's somebody's gonna get a hold of him. But so you go out, you train, you're at the Justice League, Levi Blue polishes you off, and now you go out and you start to ref matches throughout the state, and not only throughout the state, but you've been quite a few places, have you not?
I have. I've been to Tennessee. I've been in Kentucky. I've been to Texas, Wisconsin, Ohio, Illinois. I just where I could get my foot in the door, and I wanted to break down the wall. I went where I could.
How long have you been a referee?
Since 2008.
2008. That's a long
Yeah.
time, bro.
Yeah.
So
2008. I had that's when I was cleared to go.
okay.
And then my first show outside of Levi used to run a show called TCW, TKW. I forgot the actual name of it.
Mhm.
But he was running shows there. And so my first show outside of it was called MCWA, and it turned into DSW.
Okay.
years ago, which this is, Detroit style wrestling, and that turned that out. So that was my first booking outside of doing Levi, and then after I did that, just the doors started opening up, and mainly Detroit, and then all over.
Yeah. Now, this is in the background here, you can see this is your first Rasslin Rage thumbnail back there. And I don't know, there's a couple of us, up there. That's Ricky Morton. You're holding the hand of Ricky Morton over there. And then over here, right there is Madman Fulton. This guy right here, that's the Dread King looking like he's getting ready to kill somebody. Hopefully it's not you, right? But there's a lot of hands that you've right. There's a lot of hands you've raised over the years. I mean, what you said, 14 years you've been doing this, roughly, give or take. I mean, more than that.
Yeah.
It's about that.
Yeah. 14. Yeah.
Okay, so 14 years of doing this, and now recently you announced that you're going to hang up the zebra shirt soon. You mentioned your health. Well, let's talk about it. Obviously it's the health that's led to this, correct?
Yes. Where do we start here? I've always had I remember a few years ago we talked at Bay City.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready to retire at that time too.
Yeah.
I just came back from retirement at that time. I retired once. I was in a coma about 4 or 5 years ago, and when I was on vacation in Denver, which scared the crap out of me. Like, I was on vacation with my wife. I have a seizure, and I had to wake up 4 days later in the hospital in Denver, Colorado. And there was no family, no friends near me. The only one that was there was my wife. And so then I took time off before that because I became diabetic, and I was trying to hide it because I was young, so I was really embarrassed. Became diabetic real quick, and I just didn't take care of myself. I should have listened to people a long time ago. And honestly, become diabetic is the best thing that's ever happened to me, especially as a referee, because I just don't eat like crap no more, and I feel different when I'm in the ring. And then I can see the difference in pictures too now.
Right.
I've been back about 3 or 4 years now from that, and I promised. I was telling her, I was like, I want to go 22 years and then retire on that 2-2, and it didn't happen. Episode happened at a show where I was not aware that I was going to be doing something, and I landed right in my hips. And I just remember on the ride home, I was in so much pain. I was almost in tears. But then I was just I don't want to lose, I don't want to lose my spot. So I sucked it up and I just kept doing my traveling. I also coach softball. I play softball outside of refereeing. And it was to the point where my legs collapsed on me during softball one night, and I couldn't feel my legs.
Oh, damn.
And I was freaking out on the softball field, and they had to rush me into the hospital. Well, the ER rushed me out because they didn't want to, COVID is the thing right now. They're not really taking it serious unless you have COVID right now in the hospitals. So, they gave me a Burger King diagnosis. I knew it wasn't wrong with me. So I tried sucking it up again. I did a few shows, but each show, I can't, because of the pain, I cannot drive long distance by myself. I have to bring someone with me when I do my shows. And I went to see my family doctor. I was like, hey, this is what's going on. I was like, I'm in so much pain. My foot goes numb. My right foot goes numb when I'm walking. From the parking lot to the show, my foot goes numb walking in. And I was like, that doesn't seem normal to me because my other foot never goes numb.
Right.
And then I'm always in pain. My legs are in severe pain. I hurt to lay down. I hurt to stand. I only get comfortable when I sit down. And then I go to I was just saying, like, they did X-rays on me. And I didn't hear back for 2 months about it. So I was like, oh, must be water underneath the bridge. It's probably a new diabetic ache. That's my thing. I got diabetic ache. I'm losing weight, so maybe my body's just not adjusting to how much I'm melting right now. And so then the one day after I said it to someone, I get a phone call from a bone specialist the very next morning and said, hey, we need to bring you in and go over your results. I was like, okay. So I go in, and then they're like, how long has your hips been bad? I was like, I don't know. I was just like, I sore, but I didn't think they're hurt. Basically told me that I'm bone on bone right now, both hips. I have a large tear on my left side. I have no cartilage left on my left side of the hip. I am at a 3.1 cell cyst on top of the hip on the left side. They did check for cancerous, and that came back negative.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And then my right hip is a small tear, bone on bone again there. And I have another 3.1 centimeter cyst on that hip. I am going to be meeting with my surgeon November 5th. I'm going to be having double hip surgery. And they basically said that after the surgery, there is no more of what I'm doing now between softball and refereeing, that it's going to end me. So I had the choice of to take the surgery or continue to be doing what I'm doing. At the end of the day, when I the first time, I thought I had to prove more to the boys. I thought I had to prove more to the fans and the promoters around the state. And looking back now, I never had to. But right now, I'm leaving on my terms because they wanted to do surgery a few months ago, and I told them, you can wait till November. I'll meet with you to the surgeon in November, and then I wanted to go out and do my little small tour of thanking the fans at each show, thanking the boys, and thanking the promoter for giving me a chance on me. So I have 4 more shows left in me right now.
When's your last show?
November 13th at Metro Pro.
So November 13th is your very last reffing match. That's going to be bittersweet. I think the guys and I are going to have to make it a point to be there because that's pretty significant. Do you feel emotional about it at all, or do you feel like at ease? Because I know you just said that you're going out on your own terms right now, so that has to make it a little bit better.
At first it was just kind of like, okay, this isn't that bad, but lately, like, I just worked for Tri-City Wrestling, and it was just so emotional backstage. I just that was the last time I got to see those guys. The fans, I'm gonna miss the fans. I'm gonna miss the I worked XICW a few weeks ago. Say goodbye to them and thank them for everything they've done for me. XI made me become a better referee when I worked for XI, and most of my mentors that's helped me, grow up from being that kid Corky to the Corky you see now are all there in XI, and I wouldn't be here where I am without those guys. I just looked at some of my softball guys last night. I coach softball now. I stopped playing, and I just told them, I was just like, because they plan on coming down for Metro Pro to see me one last time, and I just said that it's coming too fast, and I don't want it to come too fast. So it's been very emotional. I got a great support system back here in Saginaw, helping me through it. I got a lot of people that my family for the first time is going to come watch me Metro Pro.
Well,
And I'm
good.
really excited for that.
Absolutely. That sounds like it's going to be awesome. There's always a lot of things happening at Metro Pro Wrestling. Substantial things with major names. And Corky, it's gonna be November 14th. It's gonna be your last refereeing night. Now you're leaving on your own terms, and it's you can't say you've had too bad of a career. I mean, I see a lot of names and a lot of matches, and I've seen a lot of your matches that you've refed in the past 3-4 years that I've been around. What's the hardest thing for you right now? Knowing that you're retiring and you have to.
The hardest thing is that refereeing is the only thing I've ever been good at. Like as a man, as me, I was very successful at it. And once I, got smart enough and brushed, better, I got really good at it. So for me is, what am I going to do after refereeing? So that's the hardest thing. Just I don't get to see like a lot of people like I'm excited to see at shows. Like a lot of there's people that I love to see.
Right.
The whole traveling, I like traveling, and but it's just when that thing came in, but diagnosis of surgery came in, it's either I do this, be in the pain, or I might sacrifice to have to be in a wheelchair later on in life, and that's not fair to my wife. I wanted to take my ball, and I'm gonna go home, and so I don't get in that condition, and so I can be old with my wife, and we do vacations every year, and I want to be able to enjoy those vacations and not be like a vegetable.
Right.
So I'm gonna miss everything about the wrestling part. I'm gonna miss the traveling, seeing each town, buying scratch offs, winning a lot of money in each town I go to. Just the whole environment of each show. Like each show is different. They give you different, things at each show that there is. Not each show in around is the same, and what I love. So
Well, yeah. Now I have a question that someone wanted me to ask you here. Are you ready? Now, just so you know, I'm
Yeah.
going to pre-frame this. I'm going to pre-frame this so that you know where it's coming from. This is not whatever. So Davison Sarai. So you already know where it's. She would like to know. She says, do me a favor and ask him why he was against the idea of enforcing the rules or making a steady 3 count in IPW.
if you want to become a referee, you go put some stripes on, and you'll see how hard our job is. Okay. So if you want to judge how us referees have it, you go put a shirt on. Hey, November 7th, I'll be back at IPW, and I'll offer my shirt for you, so you can ref.
There you go. And then Danny Beals here in the chat says, what's Corky's favorite match he refed and your most memorable?
My favorite match I refed was Mr. Chainsaw years ago. It was Keith Cream versus the Mad Dragon Akeem Zane.
Oh, no
which
shit.
is Raju now.
Right.
Most memorable match probably would be Ken Patera versus I can't think of the guy's name right now. It was from the Gathering of Juggalos. I can't think of the name right now, but that was like one of the most memorable matches. I'm gonna go with what else is you got
put him on the spot.
DVA and Sabu.
Oh,
DVA and Sabu.
That's
in Bay City.
That has to be an amazing. I've never seen that match, so I would really like to see it. But Sabu is coming back to XICW for the 21st anniversary show in Standish.
I saw that.
Yeah, but that's awesome sauce. I'm gonna see you hopefully before Metro Pro, but I do want to say, you know, if I don't see you before that, and I do see you then, I will, you know, obviously I'm going to come up and talk to you, but I want to publicly say right here in front of everybody, you know, it's an absolute pleasure. And, you know, it's been an honor to meet you and not only have you on the show, but, you know, to have you as part as the family, as we all call it, because that's exactly what all these people in wrestling are, is one big family. So
Thank you.
You know, thanks for coming on. Now you're forever in the Rasslin Rage history books, because you are now a thumbnail, a Corky Robinson thumbnail for Rasslin Rage. So, but yeah, man, thank you so much. And, you know, I understand your choice. You know what I mean? I get it. You know, family has to come first. It really does. Because what at the end of the day, what do we have? The people that love us. That's it. You know?
Right.
So, you know, good on you. And I hope that when you do get this surgery, everything's A-okay. And man, I can't wait till the 14th. And I'm sure, and I say, what's that?
13th.
13th. The 13th. Okay.
November 13th.
There we go. November 13th, the last time. I hate to, you know, I want to be the guy that's like, I'm a manly man, right? But I'm probably going to shed a tear, just so you know. All right. Because it's emotional time, man. It's an emotional time for sure. But, you know, guys, don't forget, search out Corky on Facebook and all the social media. I'll go back and edit it in there and put that stuff down there. And check out Metro Pro Wrestling on November 13th. It's the last time, man. The last time you're going to get to yell at Corky for not counting to 3. All right? I yell at him all the time. All the time I yell at Corky. All right?
You do.
I do.
You do. I throw you down.
Right. So now we also, you know, he's going to, you got, you said 4 more shows, 4 more events?
4 more shows. October 16th, I'll be at Pure Pro Wrestling in Iceland Arenas in Flint. October 29th will be I'll be at FU Wrestling in Hamtramck at Trixie's. November 7th, I'll be at IPW in Jackson, Michigan. And November 13th, Metro Pro in Southgate.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the last 4 times you will ever get to see Corky or ever get to yell at him. You'll ever get to yell at him as a referee. You may see him again, because you never know. He may pop up as a referee, not as a referee, but an announcer, because there's so many different things you can do in wrestling. You just never know what he may or may not do. Maybe he'll do voiceover. Who knows? But last time you'll ever get to see him referee again. So check those 4 shows out, man. Again, thank you so much for joining us. I wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors. And I said it, not Vince McMahon.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Hey, can I get my vote for the Wrestler of the Year?
Oh, boy, here we go. Who's going to be Wrestler of the Year?
Jason Hotch.
Jason Hotch. You know, we're not big fans of Jason Hotch over here on the Rasslin Rage.
Why not? You guys gotta stop hating, bro.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
That guy's a pure talent.
Yeah. All right. So thank you to everybody out there. We will see you right back here on Sunday for Rasslin Rage at 7 p.m., where we give you all the results from the shows that happen over the weekend. We are out of here.
It's going down.
This is Rasslin Rage.
Do it now.
This is Rasslin Rage.
Scream it out loud.
This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
It's going down.
This is Rasslin Rage.
Do it now.
This is Rasslin Rage.